10 years from now, and you're going to see people with Netflix specials and HBO specials, and you're going to be like, oh, they fucking cut their teeth at the Sesh Lounge or at the Cellar or at
let's
the
be
Hunt
fair.
Club.
If it's 10 years from now, it's going to be the Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu Plus.
Right. The whole subscription of all.
Yeah.
You got
We're going to be back to
Butter
DirecTV. This episode of Unloading Meat is not brought to you by your favorite male enhancement such as Blue Chew or whatever other names they have. I really don't know anything about the products. I obviously don't take them. This guy over here, Stefano, does, right? You take them? Which one do you take? You don't? What do you mean you don't? Obviously you don't need. Wow. I'm just sorry, guys. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm just really more impressed that he actually got laid. If you're tired of these fake ads, make sure to reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now back to the show. Hey guys, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my upcoming appearances and where you guys can find me live. I will be performing for the Fresh Faces of Tulsa Comedy Show, April 7th, 8 p.m., Deco Lounge. Consider it an honor. I'm really looking forward to that. That's this Friday, April 7th, 8 p.m. And then the following Friday, I will be at the Renaissance Brewing Company in Tulsa, Oklahoma, April 14th, for another round of Insult Attack Roast Battle, hosted by the great Brian Bizjack. We will have him on the show next week to help promote that. But again, April 7th, Deco Lounge, April 14th, Renaissance Brewing Company. Come out and support Tulsa Comedy, guys. Enjoy the episode. Guys, new episode of Unloading Meat. We're up to episode 10 now. Yeah, we're halfway through the season. Halfway through season 1. Yeah, we for those that don't know, me and Stefano have decided to limit the episodes to 20 a season. Then we'll be taking a 1-week break in between, and then we will debut season 2. I believe we have it penciled in for Monday, June 26th. Today's show, we have Dillon Walters. Guys, this guy is a outstanding comedian, musician, just all around great entertainer. We had a few beers. We had a few smokes. We had a great time getting to know each other. We were here for a good afternoon. And then later on that month, I saw him at his performance at Little Miss MG's show. Shout out to Yucks and Chuckles, I believe it's called. At the Mojito Bar. I love the Mojito Bar. It's a great bar. And Dillon crushed it. Just had an amazing performance. If you guys haven't seen him with his bass and his whole act, please make sure you see him. He is hilarious. But hopefully you guys enjoy today's interview with him. If you like this content, make sure to please like, share, subscribe. Come on, guys, help out the channel. We're trying to really grow something here in Tulsa. And guys, kick back, relax, enjoy some Unloading Meat with today's guest, Dillon Walters. All right, guys, my next guest is the ultra funny, fucking hilarious, usually high, Dillon Walters. What's up, Dillon?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you for having me. Appreciate you bringing me on the show.
No problem at all, man. How you been?
I've been good. Been super busy for sure. Been excited to come do the show. I've been seeing the episodes you guys have been dropping. A bunch of my friends on here.
Yeah, man, we had Mitzi, by the time there's out, Lynn K. I don't know if you know Lynn K.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out Lynn K. She's fucking hilarious.
She's the kind of person that's probably bursting at the seams, like, as far as work that needs to be done.
Yeah. Last night, actually, when we're shooting this, her, Roscoe, Brian Dixon, and Cepeda were down in Norman for the finals of that.
Oh yeah,
contest.
the Othello's. Yeah, I didn't even know about that really until today or yesterday, and I might have known about it, but I didn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And then I saw seeing all of them kind of getting to the bottom or the top, I guess. And
It's confusing whether you're top or bottom sometimes,
exactly.
man.
Whatever hole we're putting it in. But yeah, they're all fucking hilarious. So honestly, I think every single one of them has a chance to get to the finish line. It's interesting because I don't know comedians from like these other Oklahoma places, so I only know like what the best are here in Tulsa. And I mean, and obviously that's, subjective, but all of those people that you've talked about, they're fucking great. So
Yeah.
it's like, which one of them is going to be the one to get it? That's
Yeah.
like the fucking question I have.
Yeah. And I don't know the results. I just, good luck to everybody that was there last night. One thing I will say though, god damn, everyone in this fucking community for the most part has been so fucking supportive.
It really is a supportive community. And I think that I only know this comedy scene, so I can't speak for others, but I know there's like cliques that develop over.
Naturally, you're gonna click everywhere, but
Right.
yeah,
It's like the type of people that you're drawn to or the type of comedy you're doing or whatever, but also personal attitudes of being creative people and supportive. So, like when you're talking about going to a mic, I'll say there's certain mics that draw a certain crowd, but of all the great ones, they're great because anybody who is great can go there and do their bits, and it becomes the gym to work out your material, of course. And
yep,
then it's also funny because, and this is going to sound egotistical and I don't mean it to, but like when you're sitting in a room, like after you've been in the scene for long enough, you kind of can look around the room and know who the great people are. And like each one of these spots, it's funny, they're just trying to get you to come to their spot because they want their spot to be great. But inherently, each one of these spots is great all on its own because it exists already. You know
agreed.
what I mean?
Like the more spots we have with their own unique like
Right.
niche, like try. There shouldn't be a competition.
Exactly.
It
And
should be a
well, it
fellowship.
should be a fair, like honestly, comedians want to work.
Yep.
So they're gonna go anywhere that there is a mic to do shit at. The
And if
only
the drinks
time
are affordable.
exactly, for sure. The only time that comedians are gonna say no is like if there's some strange relationship with the venue owner or something. But regardless, if there's a mic, I'd say if you book them, they will come.
Yeah. And also like comedians need to know what they're getting into too for each venue too. Uh there's some videos that want more clean material than that can
Yeah,
have the
I don't
label. And
care
like
for that shit, honestly.
I don't
I
for me,
respect it. I respect the venue. I feel like sorry, I didn't mean to cut
oh,
you off,
no, you're
but
fine, man. We're
the
both smoking and
censorship
drinking too. It's okay.
the censorship shit frustrates me to no end because I will admit that I think that your censor is the venue owner.
Yes.
And so however crazy, hardcore, hardline your fucking material is, like these people are paying your fucking checks. It doesn't matter what anybody in that crowd thinks. It matters what the person that's fucking paying you to be on the bill thinks.
Agreed.
So you got to respect that level of it. And if you don't like that, then you got to work with somebody else.
Yeah.
For me personally, I don't want to do clean shit. And like, I will do some clean shit. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Honestly, I fucking hate people that get pissed off about cuss words. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Quit being a fucking whiny ass baby, for one. Shut the fuck up. Nobody fucking cares that you're like, oh, you said a curse word.
I personally agree 100%. I also want to just like shout out what your opinion was on the personal promoter thing because I look at it the same way as
I'm putting this out.
That's fine. My material is pretty crass.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild to see you go up once at least, and it was
Yeah.
I thought a very entertaining fucking wild.
Thank you. But I also know that it's not for everyone.
It's not for
So,
everywhere.
like you said with the promoters, it's up to the promoter to dictate what they're approving at their own venue.
Exactly.
And so, if you sign up for that,
you know what the fuck you're getting paid
into.
for, right?
I look at it like the same way. Years ago, I worked for a cell phone company, and as you can see, I have a lot of different fucking tattoos everywhere.
Right.
This one cell phone company I went to, I'm not gonna name names, but like they wanted me to be like completely covered up 100%.
Of course, the old QT service.
And like my fellow coworkers were like, "That's so bullshit" and stuff, and I'm like, "It's not. I know what I'm signing up for."
You agreed to it as a pre-agreement before the job started.
Like I got the tattoos. I knew that going in, if I was gonna get a job like this certain thing, I had to do certain things.
Right.
it's not my personal, war to fight on or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then
It's
also you gotta choose your fucking battles.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
if you're doing wild, crazy shit, like the places. If you're doing comedy for a fucking week in Tulsa, the places where you can get away with that kind of shit. And then furthermore, you want to get fucking laughs, so why would you fucking go to a place that doesn't accept that and try to force your comedy?
Yeah,
Like just go to the spots that are going to be. For me personally, of course I do a lot of weed comedy, but I also don't want to see people like using weed as a cop out to
sure,
suck.
sure.
So like whenever people walk up on stage and they're like, "Oh, I'm so high." Like, yeah, okay, we're all fucking high. Like that's what we're here for.
Yeah,
But don't think that that's going to like if we're at an open mic, that's different.
yeah.
You can suck if you want to. I suck a lot at open mics. It's the point of being at
I
an open
suck at
mic.
open mics too, but
Yeah, that's
that's
the
because I'm
whole
a
point of
grinder
fucking
also.
being there. I got to remind myself to just go suck sometimes because you want to
The
kill
phrasing on
every
this
fucking
episode.
time. And you're just like, I'm thinking about it the whole time, and I've watched everybody kill, and I'm like, fuck, I got to do this shit. And you're like, wait a second, no, like I got new jokes. Like I need to do these fucking new jokes.
Yeah.
Like it might suck. Like I can't just think about killing because everybody else killed. I know I just went to a whole different train of thought here,
You're
but
fine, man. That's what this show is about, man. We want to unload.
That's where I'm at with it. Was like when you. Right now, I'm doing new shit. I did new shit the last 2 or 3 times.
Nice.
So like at the cellar, I thought it was really silly because my new shit, I was like segueing into it based off the riff show that I did with Brett Jeffries.
Yeah.
And that was really silly of me, but I was just like, it's a topical show. You have to draw a topic out of a hat. The riff show is
That
like,
sounds like fun.
well, so the whole thing is like you don't know what you're gonna get. You got to pull a topic out of the hat, and you got to riff 3 minutes on it or 5 minutes, whatever the deal is, and then it's a competition to see who riffed the best. So I felt like I did well on the show, but in my heart, it felt like a great open mic performance. Like I didn't feel like I killed. And I was like, you're a fucking comedian. You want to fucking kill. If it was a good time, the show was great. Other comedians did fucking kill. Shout out to Brian Dixon for winning that show.
Shout out Brian Dixon.
Yeah, Brian
man.
Dixon fucking killed. But Cepeda Cheeks was also a close runner-up. Made it into the top 3, and Hilton Price also was killing throughout the entire show. Made it in the top 3. So anyways, what I'm getting at is I went up and I did my shit, and the shit was fine. But I walked out of there thinking like, fuck, I got to go to the cellar now.
Yeah.
I got more shit to let off.
Yeah.
And so ironically enough, or not ironically, excuse me, coincidentally enough, goddamn Roscoe, they're
Shout
doing
out Roscoe, man.
right.
Shout out Roscoe.
They were doing the same draw some shit out of a hat, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy fuck, here I am, like with all these, because I knew the topics that are in the hat.
Yeah.
So I had like a riff, not for everything, but like I look down the list, and as soon as something pops in my head, I write it to it,
Yeah.
So there was some shit I had to riff on. So when I got to the cellar, I'm just like, yo, I got these topics.
Yeah.
Topic 1, boom, go. And I felt like it was a kill. It was a 7 out of 10 at least.
Nice.
Riding high. Felt like more of a kill than I was on that
which weekend was that?
show.
What was the
This
topic?
was like last Sunday, I think.
Okay, so the topic was their engagement?
Yes.
Yeah, I was there. I was there.
And so it was so funny because I'm like, fucking, I don't know this woman at all, but I know Roscoe a little bit, so I fucking made a little sly comment about him or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a great time. I love the fucking cellar.
I love the
It's
fucking
so funny.
cellar,
It's
man.
honestly like one of my favorite spots, but I'm not there enough because my wife does comedy. Shout out to Michaela. We take turns. So like she goes on some nights, I go on other nights. I'm watching the baby or chilling at the house. She's got a show tonight, the Riff Show, literally happening tonight.
Nice. Shout out Riff Show. Shout out Riff Show.
Whatever it is Renaissance Brewing Company, I think.
Oh, I was just there last night.
So that's a great spot. They do great shows there.
Yeah, I was there last night for the roast battle.
Oh, the roast battle.
Yeah.
You were in it, right?
Yeah, I was in
it.
Nice.
I was hanging out with Trash today. Not hanging out with, I was talking to Trash today about it.
Shout out Trash. Trash, I
Trash
still
the
want you on
fucking
the show,
hero.
man.
He's coming. I'm gonna give him a ride.
You got an open invite to Unloading Meat.
Well, and then so Nicolo, the dude that's a singer in my band,
Yeah.
he would have been my backup.
Oh, really? He's the singer in your band?
Uh-huh.
Nice. I didn't know that.
He would have been my backup to come today, but he's going to do Hilton Price's podcast right now.
Okay.
So
yeah, I've met Nicolo a couple times.
Dude, he's the best.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious.
We have Nicolo Burkett Productions together. I'm his partner on that. And that is how we are able to do the Hash on the Mic shows.
Nice.
So that is going to be a monthly thing, but it'll be every other month in Tulsa and every other month in OKC.
Well, eventually down the line, I want to be booked on it.
Dude, I got you. I tell everybody the same thing. We want all of our friends and funniest people we know to be on the show, and it's going to be monthly. So whenever you tell me that you want to be on it, I'm putting you on a list. You'll get on it. Don't be discouraged. If we're booking them out like months in advance, so like we have a list going, but you would be on the list.
So it's exactly like this podcast.
Exactly.
We're doing this.
Exactly.
We have at this time, I think, up to 18 people booked.
Right.
So there's people that I have recorded right now, and they're like, "Hey man, when's the episode dropping? When's the episode dropping?" I'm like, "Guys, we got to go through the editing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
dude,
one a
I
week, and
understand.
we got to make sure we get this stuff planned out."
It takes a lot more in the editing side of house than people really understand, for sure. Even like when we make like a reel for Instagram,
Yeah.
it could be 15 minutes worth of like capturing film and doing shit, and then a whole nother day of like editing it down to like whatever it's gonna be.
Well, it's like, and at the time of this recording, like I had my car wreck at the end of January, and I'm still dealing with MRIs and CAT scans and all that shit.
Sorry you have to deal with that.
Yeah, and like that, I got in a car wreck 2 days before Roscoe built me for my first showcase.
Nice. That's fucking the worst timing ever,
Yeah.
obviously.
And so I have like 2 bulge discs in my neck, and I have like
shit.
my right arm. I can't like really grip a lot of shit with my right hand or write a lot, and I have like no feeling sometimes in my whole right arm.
It sucks.
So I'm going through that and still trying to do my comedy and stuff. And like Stefano and me are doing like the emails and stuff like that. And we put out like a statement like a week ago.
I remember. That's super professional though.
It's
and
like,
I feel
guys, just give us some patience. We're
honestly,
trying.
I don't know how many people are fucking blowing you up, but I can imagine from my excitement of doing the show that it's probably a lot. But just same thing as I'm getting right now with this show that I'm doing.
It's a
don't
good
feel
thing.
fucking bad. People understand. Like, I mean, honestly, it's so much work that goes into putting on one fucking show, or for you guys, one episode.
Yeah.
And like people may see that, they may not, you know, but it's like, dude, I'm doing a once a month thing. You guys are doing like however many a month. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah, we're doing
people
weekly.
Understand that shit.
Weekly with sometimes bonus episodes. Depending
honestly,
on
when I saw y'all's message, I was like, I'm so fucking busy in the same fucking way that it was a sigh of relief. Like in the cancellation that we had that day, I'm like, woo, okay, I can just sleep now or fucking hang out with the fam or whatever. Like that's just like a block of time that I got back. So I was not hating at all. It was totally fine.
Yeah, we've had a lot of ups and downs with the cameras and stuff like that, and then just like I said,
there's so much technology in this room. You got it fucking locked down now. I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's like with the band shit. It's the same kind of thing where we all have our instruments and different accessories or whatever. And there's gonna be moments where you're like right about to do the fucking thing and something doesn't work.
Yeah,
and you're like, fuck, I wish we had a backup for that.
Yeah,
like. Dude, so much. Like we're literally doing the Hash on the Mic show, the second one, and we pre-planned so much extra effort into it based on the lessons learned from the first one.
Yeah.
To where we're having walkout songs for the comedians, but I'm also having music playing for like the dabbing time. But at a moment, the shit was not working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. I'm not so high that I can't figure this out.
Yeah.
It's just not fucking working. And I don't want people to think that we're like just super fucking high, carelessly doing it. It's like, no, I'm trying to present you a badass fucking show.
And there's a certain level standard of quality.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually I gave up on it. And I feel bad. Shout out to fucking Nicolo because he didn't get his fucking walkout song. But I was like, dude, I don't fucking know what's going on here.
That happened in my
And
showcase. I had my Unloading Meat theme ready for it, and Roscoe, right before we started going, something happened, and like all the music didn't work.
you gotta just power through. It sucks. Like there's been times I was on shows, like specifically a good, not a showcase. It was a good show though, and like the wireless microphone wasn't working.
Yeah.
And we go back and forth with the sound guy enough to where I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna yell. And I just yell the first quarter of my bit. And then finally it comes back on, and you're like, do I retell the whole first quarter, or do I just keep going through? Well, so anyways, back to this hash on the mic situation. Shout out to Oscar from the Tulsa Sound podcast. He works there, not working there, but he's there as a fucking character and a patron.
Sure.
He can run this soundboard like nobody else. And so he is immediately jumping on it like, yo, what the fuck's going on? I got you. Like, let's figure this shit out. And I'm like, I've seen some fucking soundboards before, so I'm not trying to sound idiotic.
Yeah.
But I knew that nothing that I had fucking tried would work. And I tried all the fucking normal idiot shit. And I was like, this is a lot to look at. And he's like, no, bro, it's not really. It's just like one of these rows. That's just one thing. And it's just a bunch of those. And I'm like, okay, well, figure out whichever one of these fucking knobs we got to figure out to make this thing. And I was giving up on it, and he was like, no, bro, this is your show. Like, I want your fucking show to go off how you guys intended it to.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he found that fucking knob.
So it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever watched like the Wu-Tang Clan show or anything on Hulu.
Oh yeah.
Like when you see like RZA's like soundboard like art in the studio, it's just like this massive thing. You're like, whoa, that's fucking overwhelming.
Right.
And there's even a new episode where one of the latest episode, one of the rappers goes down to his studio and he has that like nobody touch my shit, and he starts dabbling with how to produce. He just starts getting around with the shit and figuring it out. And it was kind of like, it was like, hell yeah, I kind of felt that same way. Like when I got like a soundboard like this, even this is a small thing.
Yeah, that thing's sick though.
But like even this was like, okay, well, what does each thing do?
Does each thing
lanes,
do, right?
And once you started doing that, my anxiety went down. And
yeah,
it's
you
not so fucking overwhelming.
subdivide it into, I only have to think about this one thing of it.
Yeah.
And then on this big board they have there, it is like that. It's just channel, which they have a Bluetooth thing that's plugged into one channel. So at first we were focusing all of our attention on that being the error. But what had happened was, while we were in like a pre-show intermission state, my phone disconnected from the Bluetooth.
Oh shit.
To which it caused a beeping sound to notify you, right? And I'm out here mixing and mingling, like talking with the people. We have booths out there and shit. So I'm like, making sure my vendors are good, talking to the customers. And I didn't know about any of this shit. I never heard the beep. And so somebody went over there and turned the knob down for the beep.
Yeah.
And so there was just this one knob that was the answer to all this. Yeah. So luckily, I would say 3/4 of the show went off without a hitch. It makes all the fucking difference, because if you have somebody dabbing in that moment, that's dead air.
Yeah.
And so here's the duality of it. I want to break it down on this show because I think it's interesting as fuck. Because this is a dabbing show. So as a consumer, do you want to see this comedian do 5 to 7 minutes and then stop what they're doing and sit there and hang out while a dab is being cooked, and then the host comes back on and does some shit while these people are doing the thing? Or do you want to see the dabs already pre-cooked, the comedian does the 5 minutes, music comes on, they rip the dab and come back and do their shit?
I kind of like option B.
Okay, that's kind of what we did this last one, and it worked very well once we had the sound figured out.
As a consumer, that just sounds like a more fun experience.
It's faster, to the point. So basically what's going on is that Nicolo or myself are cooking the dab off the couch, chilling in the background while this person's doing their set. We got the clock on the ground. They're looking at it. They know when they're coming to dab time, and then preferably we're ready there with it, and I'll trigger their song that they requested, but like in the clip, so that it's just for this moment.
Yeah.
I think it worked.
Yeah.
It took us a minute to get to that, but so like on this next show we're gonna do in OKC at the OK Culture Lounge.
Nice.
I'm gonna be there hosting, but I'm not gonna do like a full set.
Okay.
Normally it would be Nicola and I doing full sets. He's gonna do a full set. He's a fucking headliner. He's a fucking killer. Like not necessarily he's not headlining for this show. We have some other great acts.
But you're emceeing, man. I mean,
I'm just gonna MC, right? That's what I'm trying to treat it more like. We need these comedians to do more time, and I'll just come up there and like fill the space.
yeah, and honestly, man, an MC has to be kind of like an open micer a little bit. You have to be on the fly doing some fucking crowd work, shit like that, and you can make it into an open mic if you really take it as a fun experience.
That's the whole thing. Is like with hosting it originally, I would host it and try to be an MC, but we were also figuring out the dynamics of the show. But
Sure.
I would go up there and do like 7 minutes. And I think whenever I have some new material and I have like a new 15 minutes, I want to come back and like do that show in that way. But for now, I'm more or less trying to highlight the great comedians that we got booked on the show.
Yeah.
So let them fucking have the shine. They are the ones killing it.
Yeah.
And I'm just honestly, I know these people and I love these people. So I've been like working on quips about them personally.
Yeah.
For bringing them up and shit, you know. Thunder Wolf, Dakota Six Killer, Lacey Rains. Those are like
Lacey Rains was one of the hosts last night.
Dude, she's a fucking killer.
She's a hilarious
Shout
comedian.
out to Butter Sluts the Traveling Clown. Fucking killer.
Shout out Lacey. She's actually gonna get booked on the show. She's we're working on the schedule right now.
She's a fucking killer.
Yeah.
So she did the Mac Taylor's comedy review. Shout out to Mac Taylor. I'm not trying to name drop, but this was like the first experience I had with Lacey.
If
I
ever
had seen her at the Cellar one night before.
If ever there's a podcast to name drop, it's this one for Tulsa Comedy. Like I said, I want this to be a spotlight for everybody. So name drop away.
Fuck yeah.
Guys, if you want your name on here, feel free and we will shout you out. I want this to be a spotlight for everybody. Let's promote, get everybody up.
I'm going to shout out everybody that's fucking hooked me up or people that I've worked with that I think are great. So Mac Taylor, she's a fucking hero. Straight up, the Mac Taylor Comedy Review is one of the greatest shows in Tulsa. And honestly, I knew about it like when I first started doing shit out here and like working with this band because my boy Nicola was on the show.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was just like, fuck, I want to be on this show, dude. This shit is cool. I want to do sketch. I want to learn fucking sketch. I want to do more sketch shit.
Yeah.
And so I knew that I was like still new to the craft in general. So I wasn't going to put myself out there yet. And eventually I did, and Mac Taylor did put me on. And she put on fucking Trash too. And that was a high fucking risk situation, if you know Trash.
I know Trash.
Right. And so, you know.
Me and him rap roast battle last night.
I fucking suggested Trash for Mac Taylor's talent show, to which he did. And he fucking killed. I thought it was good. It was scary because, you know, there's some topics that we would prefer Trash not to get into.
Yeah.
And Trash is like super fucking receptive to whatever you want to give him. And he wants a platform to do Trash.
Yeah.
So he's respectful as fuck to like, you know, whatever situation it is. So anyways, that's why I was really drawn to what you're trying to do. And I think people want to hate or like be skeptical.
Yeah.
And it's because they're upset / afraid that they didn't do the thing they wanted to do the whole time. And somebody else is doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, you're doing it. You're already fucking doing it. This is happening. I'm working on doing it, but you're already literally fucking doing it. And then even if I was doing it too, there's still enough pieces of the pie for everybody to be fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Nicola went to his place to go do it with these other people or whatever. But when I see what you're doing, what I'm trying to do is create the culture. You are perpetuating that.
Yeah.
So we should support your thing. And everybody that you've had on so far has been legit. And I would never like try to tell you who to or not have on or whatever. I feel like you're already a pretty good judge of that or whatever. But there's these venue people that they go to these open mics to try to fish people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they fish the wrong people. And it's like, fuck, I'm not trying to discourage their successful path.
Yeah.
but like, god damn, they weren't ready for a show yet or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean?
So, was she a hooker or prostitute? Sex worker. I'm not trying to shame. I'm just more curious. She wasn't? You went on a date? How the fuck are you getting laid? And how the fuck are you not needing a company like Blue Chew? Who, coincidentally, is not sponsoring today's episode of Unloading Meat. But they could be. They could be. If you're tired of these fake ads, make sure to reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor this show. Now, back to the episode. And we're back, guys, with Dillon Walters. Right? Dillon Walters.
Dillon Walters.
I'm high right now, so like names are always shitty for me.
It's okay.
We'll do that again. Okay. And we're back with Dillon Walters, guys.
It's me, Dillon Walters.
I didn't mess up the name at all the first time we came back.
Some people know me as Killin' Alters. That's the sex thief name.
Oh, I thought that was like some kind of anti-religious thing. Like you go to interrupt weddings.
I mean, no, it's just a punk rock band name. It's silly, but then Terptobane is like my
Terptobane?
Yeah, Terptobane.
That's cool.
That's what I'm known as on the Instagram. I like to think I'm fucking Instagram famous, but I've got like 870 followers, dude. They only like me from this one fucking disc golf video I did back in like 2022.
Well, share the shit out of this episode when it drops, man.
No, it's funny. Terptobane though, that's like my weed moniker, right? Dillon Walters is me. That's what I do all my comedy and work as. But sometimes, like if I'm doing a weed event, I'll go up as Terptobane, and it's kind of an alter ego of like more stonerness.
Yeah.
But my punk rock version of myself, Killin' Alters, that's like a whole different animal. The last show that we did at the Mercury Lounge, like honestly, I don't even fucking remember the set. And like it was like so much effort to sit there and like power through it. I was just like I was in the zone. I was in what some people call the flow state, if you will.
Yep, been there.
And I was really worried about this dipshit fucking standing guitar player that we had hired for the thing. But they were doing fine. And we just ba-bam, 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 like powered through each like section, if you will. Like, dude, I left our fucking merch there. Like, I left my jacket there. Like, it was like such a thing where I was like just in the fucking zone.
Yeah.
I was just fucking amped and like, it was the fastest music we've ever played, fastest song we've ever written kind of thing. Like, kind of turned 3 songs into 2.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just weird. Me and my other bandmates talking about it after the fact. And I'm like, bro, I don't even fucking remember anything other than looking at this group of people. Also, we have a newer keyboardist. Shout out to Draven, who's also a comedian.
Holy shit, you guys all are in the band, man.
Yeah,
shout out.
Draven's a fucking killer on the comedian side. But they're playing fucking keys, and me and Draven have like a special connection in the ethereal fucking music world where I'm like motioning and emotioning to changes in the song, playing very similar riffs throughout. So that's what I was in the zone about. It's weird. Like other times I've been very present and aware of the crowd, and sometimes I've been way too focused on the sound. Like the sound is terrible to me.
Yeah.
And I just like can't hear shit. But now I'm like learning from Nicolo and Kian, the drummer, that like if we know the song well enough, like you don't need to hear it. You just fucking play it.
Yeah.
Fucking get it, you know? And that shit works well enough.
Is it original or are you guys doing covers?
Mostly originals. We have like one Gigi Allen cover that we do, which is fucking funny as fuck to me, honestly, because we only ever do it if somebody requires an encore. And it's Bite It, You Scum.
Ooh.
But to me, I'm so fucking dumb and I don't know shit about Gigi Allen or whatever. I know enough about Gigi Allen, but I thought, like, I just know the 3 chords of the song, and these are the 3 notes that we're playing. That's what I'm fucking worried about. And I thought he was saying, "Biden, you scum, Biden," and I'm like, everybody's fucking just throwing down on this political fucking rant, and it's really just "Bite it, you scum." Yeah, I was like, fucking thought they were on some other shit, dude.
Well, if you ever need a fat guy with a high pitched singing voice to come in for a guest spot, let me know.
Well, so it's interesting you would say that because we have this classic. Like right now, we're recording this new EP. We just went in the studio and recorded some singles, and we have to
Not that I'm
just.
looking for a gig or anything. I'm just
Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna throw back to this old song that we got, where we never went and recorded this one, but it lived live, and it was Slime Cop. And so when we played Slime Cop, we would have a character come out in a giant slime ball fucking outfit, uh, and then there would be another character that was a cop. And so basically, the Slime Cop character was like an amalgamation of fucking RoboCop and the Toxic Avenger.
okay.
So essentially, this cop was like a trill ass motherfucker and was snitching on all the bad cops for being dickheads. And they were like, "Whoa, we can't have this fucking cool cop being fucking cool." And so they threw him in a vat of fucking acid, to which he came out as like Slime Cop. So his whole thing was that he would just slime fucking cops.
So he just goes to the Minnesota Police Department and is like, not my fucking place.
Oh, Slimer. So yeah, so while we were playing the song, essentially Slime Cop would come running out, and then a cop would come out, and then Slime Cop would fucking handle that motherfucker, you know? It's a very ACAB type of song.
It's pretty cool. I'm getting It's Always Sunny vibes when they did their fucking musical.
Yes, very
The,
much
the
so
troll
like
toll
that, right.
for the boys' hole kind of
Gotta
thing.
pay the troll.
But yeah, I like the
You
concept,
could
man.
be a fucking Slime Cop is what I'm getting at.
I if you wanted me to audition for Slime Cop, I would audition for Slime
We
Cop.
need a permanent Slime Cop. It's funny.
Let me know, man.
We were in the studio the other day. We had to play. We're recording these 2.5 new songs. I'm calling it 2.5 because at the end of one song, we're playing this other thing. And it's like, it could be considered its own song, but it's more for like the live, like powerfulness of it. Like it's like
Yeah.
an ending of something or whatever. But while we were in there, like in between, sessions or whatever, we're like just playing the songs that we love. And that Slime Cop. Sorry. Excuse me.
It's the alcohol, man. It's okay. We're good.
The Slime Cop song comes up and it's like my guitarist is just like riffing on it. And I'm over here like, God damn it, I don't even remember it, dude. Like, I'm trying to like play the notes over here like, oh, it's this one and that one and this one and that one. And oh, it's not that one, but it's kind of over here. I'm like, yeah, we've been focusing so much on these new songs. It's so funny because like if I sat there with my guitar player for 5 minutes, I would relearn the song. No big deal. It comes back. But
Sure.
you're just like, fuck, dude. Like we've been like we played a whole show that we prepped for that was literally just a 3-song show. Normally we're like doing 30-minute rehearsal. It's just weird. It's just weird when you forget a song you played 1,000 times.
Sure. It's kind of like whenever you like rehearse your open mic shit for like a whole time, and then like you go out there in a minute, it's like a whole minute of it or something like that.
Dude, let me tell you about this fucking Mac Taylor shit.
Okay.
So when I was on this Mac Taylor show, never done sketches before, never done I was going to be a stand-up comedian on the shit, but I was not there for that.
Sure.
Like that was going to be in my back pocket. That was fucking fine. I got that shit on lock anytime. This was like I wrote my own sketch. I had people on the cast in my own sketch, and then I was in other people's sketches. And before, when we were doing our dress rehearsal, we were doing like kind of this block out thing with my sketch. And I was like telling Mac, like, dude, I wrote the sketches. Like, I know the fucking lines.
Yeah.
Like, do not fucking doubt me because I wrote the shit.
Yeah.
And then there I was up on stage, like, forgetting everything.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "It's blocked out. Let's fucking do this. Like, what are you doing?" You know?
Yeah.
And like, I'm over here like contemplating cheating on my phone, like leaving it on the stage and I'm like, dude, there's no way. Like, you fucking know this shit.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking know this shit. We've been working on this shit for a minute. But it was my first time ever doing that. And I thought that there was like nothing in my soul of stage fright left. But dude, it happened. Hardcore. I like froze up in like anxiety panic attack mode.
Yeah.
To where I had to like stop the rehearsal. It was like,
it's so
holy
funny.
shit, we got to do this show in 30 minutes. I was like feeling so bad because I wanted Mac to know that I was like fully prepared. And also, like, there was a confusion with Trash because I was supposed to bring him there.
Yeah.
And I did not.
Shout out Trash.
Yeah. I was a fucking asshole. But my wife's like trying to get a babysitter and like she's got to go pick the babysitters up and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling Mac like, oh fuck, Trash isn't here. It's not his fault at all. But then really this moment of me freezing up, like, woo, dude, it was like I've been through some harrowing shit in life.
Yeah.
Some facing death down shit. And this was one of those moments where I was like,
you feel it in your chest.
Yeah, like, holy fuck. And I was just like, stop, I gotta stop, you know.
Yep.
And then later on, of course, you know, Miak and I came together about this moment, and she was like, you had to get that over with. Before it was like when we were doing our fucking show.
You had to get it out of the way.
Right. And we did the show, and the first sketch was good. It was great to the crowd, but we knew what we could do better, you know. But then I think later on, when I came in on Lacey's sketches, I think that where they thought I might not know the whole line, I did know the line. I felt like I was fine. It was like, I brought it back.
Yeah.
Brought it fucking back. All right, cool. But goddamn, you're never not thinking about that fucking worst moment.
Yeah.
Never go. And also, when you bomb, you're bombing for the ever again until you don't.
Yeah.
In your head, when you wake up in the morning, like, I got to go to work. I have like a whole pressure sensitive list of shit to do at work. But if we go hit the mic on Wednesday night and it's a bomb, it's not that. And it's not that until Sunday night.
Word.
You know what I
Agreed.
mean?
Because I'll dwell on it for a while. Which is ironic if that happens to the Cellar Dweller. But
right.
But yeah, that shit happened. And then hell, man, I had my first showcase at the Cellar. I had a 10-minute set. My first gig, like actual showcase.
How do you feel with 10 minutes? Well, do you have more than 10 minutes?
I'll tell you, yes.
Good.
My first 10-minute set, I actually did about 8.5. Okay. Because a minute and a half in the middle of it, I blanked.
I've done that.
And the funniest part of this blanking is it was the parts where I was going to roast Roscoe, and he's sitting literally this close to me. You know the Cellar.
Yes.
So he's like right here looking at me.
Interesting room already.
Yeah.
So if you're like, dude, I was not a pro comedian, but I would consider myself an intermediate comedian.
Sure.
And I finally got to do the Cellar after a year of fucking hype. And then looking down that split wall, this way and that way, like the one night I fucking did it the first time, it was like a fully loaded pocket over here.
Yeah.
As well as over here. And you know how it is when you're looking over here at all the best comedians you know. And then you're looking over here at fucking normies or whoever's there and friends and whatever. I'm making you laugh. Fuck all y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm looking at it. Because they know me. They've already seen my shit. Like, the first time I ever went to the Cellar, I was so fucking high. I was like literally just forcing myself to go do a mic. And I was like, bro, I've been saying I'm coming to this mic forever, and I never fucking come.
Yeah.
Because it's Sunday night, dude.
Well, dude, that's how I feel about
I gotta get up at 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
That's how I feel about I feel horrible, but there's a place called Sesh Lounge.
Yeah, that's the spot.
Yeah.
That's the new spot.
Yeah, and like the guys there are super nice.
Patrick,
yeah, he's super nice, super supportive of the Tulsa comedy scene. And I've been telling him, like, guys, I'll be out there for your open mics. They do it every other Thursday.
Yeah.
every time that they have one, I've either had to do an MRI, my daughter's had a choir or
See,
something, or I got in a car wreck.
well, so they look. Shout out to the Sesh Lounge. That's where we do hash on the mic.
Yeah,
The cultural event that is happening at the Sesh Lounge will be looked back on in history as a Comedy Store level event where a lot
I
of these
agree. I agree.
great comedians that you see coming out of here, like, dude, literally Dakota Six Killer, fucking, I mean, I don't want to fucking go through a list because you know who's great out there.
Sure.
Nicola Burkett, Trevor Carrion, all these female comedians out there fucking killing it. Kels Cooper, Lacey Rains, fucking, I could give you the fucking list of who my favorite people are right now, but what I'm talking about is looking back on this fucking spot 10 years from now, and you're going to see people with Netflix specials and HBO specials, and you're going to be like, oh, they fucking cut their teeth at the Sesh Lounge or at the Cellar or at
let's
the
be
Hunt
fair.
Club.
If it's 10 years from now, it's going to be the Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu Plus.
Right. The whole subscription of all.
Yeah.
You got
We're going to be back to
Butter
DirecTV.
Sluts, the Traveling Clown, fucking hour and a half special of glory.
So was it like, did they like owe you, your family a debt or something? Was it like Hatfield versus McCoy's? No. I'm just flabbergasted. Like, how are you getting laid more than I am? And how are you not needing a sponsor like Blue Chew? Which again, could be a sponsor of Unloading Meat, but they're not right now. If you'd like to change that and stop hearing about Stefano's sexual escapades, reach out to your favorite sponsors like Blue Chew and tell them to sponsor Unloading Meat. Now, back to the episode.
But yeah, so these people, I think, at the Sesh Lounge want to build a cultural fucking place. They want to build a place where we as comedians want to just go hang out.
Well, guys, Sesh Lounge, getting ready for those. I would love to talk to you guys more.
I think, like,
I really would, guys. I would love to talk to you guys more.
Thursday night shit, literally all of me and my best friends just hanging out. And then, oh, fuck. Honestly, I'll say this shit to the host of that fucking open mic. Literally, when it was over, we're all sitting there, like, wishing we could go up again. So, like, if we could do the first open mic that's like a double round fucking open mic of, like, when it's over, like, I know, shout out to the Sesh Lounge and Nature's Cure as a dispo. They want people in those seats fucking buying shit next door. But if we could finish the show and then take an intermish, everybody gets ripped, and then whoever's left standing, let's do another round of sets. Like,
I have some creative ideas for my own open mics too.
Nice. What do you got?
So, you are obviously into music.
Yes.
I am too, but not to a professional level like that. I've talked on other pods before. What got me back into comedy was karaoke.
Nice. I love that. I love that.
It was getting my stage presence. It was getting me back on there in front of crowds. Because, like, during COVID, I was at the point where I couldn't go outside. Last time I tried to sign up with my now ex-wife for karaoke, I had a panic attack just signing up.
Ooh.
Crowds. Yes. Crowds in general would scare the shit out of me. And now you see I'm doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah, now you're out there doing it.
So that's kind of where I've been in 2 years.
That's a good progression, though.
So that being said, during COVID and stuff like that, and whenever my wife left me and stuff like that, I found there's a worldwide Discord karaoke.
Oh.
And it's called Karaoke Lounge. Shout out to Marta who makes it.
Nice. And, shout out to Marta.
It has like 1 million people on it, and it's like people from Japan, Germany, all worldwide, and they're just doing karaoke. They sign up on there and just do karaoke, and everybody's super supportive.
I love it.
And it's a cool community. And, like, I always thought that would be kind of cool to mix a little bit of karaoke with some stand-up or some open mics.
Interesting.
So I thought about, like, do your set, maybe we smoke or something like that. Come back, do your set again, and then you draw from a bucket, and we have to make you do, like, a karaoke song or something like that.
So if you do a set, you have to do a song.
Yeah, you end it with a song.
That's it. That's fucking the premise right there.
Yeah.
That would kill.
Yeah. Smoke and sing. Smoke and sing.
Honestly, was dwindled down this fucking cesspool of fucking great comedy by ensuring that if you're going to come up here and get some laughs, you got to give us a song.
Yeah. And also, if you bomb, we get to choose a song or the genre.
Ooh, yes.
I think that's good.
Yes, I love that.
So
What do
that's
you
my concept.
Steaks. There's steaks right here, y'all.
That's my concept. Anybody in Tulsa that wants to have me as a host or an MC of an open mic, I can do this concept. Reach out to me, guys.
So we were talking about the roast battle, which Brian Bischek hosts.
Yeah.
I feel like it's at this brewing company most of the time. I don't know if they revolve doors, but you were on it last night, right?
Yeah, last night.
How'd that go?
I won 1 out of my 4 rounds.
Nice.
For the first time, dude, I thought I'd be pretty good. I had a fun experience. That place is awesome looking.
The place is awesome.
Good venue. The crowd was pretty good.
It's easy to fill up the space, which feels good.
Yeah, and like you could feel the last. And like, honestly, just a good vibe. I'll be back definitely.
Shout out to Brian for hosting that thing. He's been hosting it for years, and I think they have like a milestone moment of how many shows they've had, and then I did one, and so I will say this to Brian. I'm not signing up for these ones because I'm a little punk ass bitch, but I just been busy. I'll come back to one. I know I told you I'd be back on the next one after I got my fucking ass handed to me, but it's not because of that. I love you all. I'll come back for sure. I've been working on the roast, okay? So, fuck, now that we got Trash on there.
Yeah.
I got some people. I mean, fuck, dude. I thought I was going to do well the first time because I had Draven and fucking Dakota Six Killer on there. Yeah. And I just went on there and talked about how nice they were, and I gave them compliments.
I thought about doing that once. Kind of like the Jonah Hill kind of roast, the way you did it.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, oh, I think one of the jokes was like, oh, it was the worst, dude. I'm like,
did you ever see the Jonah Hill roast of James Franco?
I feel like I have seen it, but it's been a long time.
So like he went up there and his whole entire roast for like 5 minutes was nothing but just complimenting and like, oh, you're so funny. It was such a good time. And he's just so bashful and just doing that. Like, that's him for 5 minutes. And it's hilarious. But he's doing backhanded compliments to each other, everybody. Like, you were so funny. Oh, you're just so fat now and stuff like that. Just little insults.
I said the dumbest shit like, you look like a rich person that looks rich. They're like, oh yeah, I've been going for that. That's exactly what I was trying to do.
I told Trash, I said, Trash, you look like you haven't taken a bath in a month and simultaneously look wet all the time. How the fuck is that possible?
Yeah, is that water trash is like a word that it's a double word that people aren't super familiar with, but water trash is the worst kind of trash. Yeah. It's just a bag of trash that's been sitting out there in the puddle, in the rain. You know, I love Trash to death. He's not always water trash, but sometimes when he comes out drunk as fuck, I'll call him water trash.
Yeah. So, man, what else we want to talk about today?
Okay, so let me talk about my band. Let's talk about my band.
Let's talk about the band, man.
So I'm in this band, and we're called Sex Thief, which is...
That sounds hot.
Right, it's a hot name. It derives...
Sorry.
Plenty of controversy. Everybody's like, oh, does that mean rape? Are you guys the rapists? And it's like, no, it's not what it means. There's so much historical connotation here in Tulsa with the punk scene. So, for instance, a big historical moniker that we've talked about a bunch of times.
Move it down a little bit. They can't see your mouth.
Check. There we go.
Yeah.
So, a big historical moniker has been when the Sex Pistols came to play at the Canes. So, yeah, everybody just kind of like dismisses that, I think, because the Canes is so historically prevalent here already. And it's just like, okay, yeah, great other band fucking played here, whatever. But what they don't realize is that when the Sex Pistols came to America, they only played at 11 fucking spots.
Oh, wow.
Right. So when they came to the Canes, it was a pretty fucking historical moment. So much so that when they punched a hole in the wall in the green room, they still have a piece of that hole in the wall. Now it's at the OK Pop Museum. And, you know, they recently just had the anniversary of them coming. And I mean, to us in the punk genre, but also just as I'm a musical historian in all genres of music, and to me that's important. Like Oklahoma is super underrated, but Tulsa itself as a musical history place.
Yeah.
So there's everything building up from like the Americana folk, like anti-work movement with Bob Dylan and people like that. Now punk has like so much more of a historical reference here in Tulsa. Also, we play tons of shows with hip hop artists because there's a huge cross section of punk music and hip hop in the sense of when hip hop was coming up in America as like a format of music. Some of these punk venues were like the only places that those types of shows could exist. So now when we play shows with hip hop artists, it's like an understood thing. Like it doesn't even need to be discussed, but it's a cross platform thing where we're trying to put each other on. So I only talk about the Sex Pistols because that was like a major influence on the name. And so the story goes is like the Sex Pistols would be on tour with the band and they were notoriously reputed to be stealing other people's shit all the time.
Oh, really?
Yes. So like they'd be on the fucking tour with whatever American touring band they're with, or like say they're in Europe, you know, they might be with the Clash or something. So like they're snatching gear. They're like poor as fuck.
Okay.
And
I thought you were talking about like songs or lyrics or something.
no, they're snatching gear, literally.
Okay.
Like these dudes are getting the front from the record company, and it's like $10,000.
Okay.
And they're running that up their veins in heroin, like for the first $5,000, and then you know, plus taking trips with whatever girlfriend they're with at the time. So when they're on the road, they're like snatching these other people's gear. So that's where the first Sex Thief became a thing. And then so we started performing as Sex Thief, and really we found that like the large demographic of our fan base is the LGBTQ community, and currently we have like
shout out to the community
for sure. We've really just like tried to, I don't want to say like our platform for music is whatever the music we're going to make is, but lyrically and representationally we want to represent people that have been oppressed or victimized through whatever societal fucking terrible means there are, and give a voice to those people. And we didn't want to become a political band. We don't want to become like we want to have fun, and we want to create music that is music that people can have fun to, but we also write songs topically based on these situations to call people out. Or to, you know, let the community know like this is a voice for people to say this fuck shit that everybody's been saying, but let's put it in a song format, let's scream it to the high heavens, and let's dance to it.
And like it's kind of funny that you bring up the similarities between comedy and the rock or the punk rock and like the indie scene and stuff like that, or the music scene, I'm sorry, in general. It's just like that's why we talked about like in certain venues may not be my cup of tea for my kind of humor or my personal genre of humor that I broadcast out, simply because my humor is based around my life experiences, and then like I was sexually assaulted when I was a kid.
Right. It's not gonna relate until you're in front of those people that it can relate to.
So like I'm a 2-time divorcee, 2-time survivor of suicide, and survivor or you know, had sexual assaulted when I was a kid. So like there's a lot of fucked up shit in my trauma in my house, my life. So that's where my humor is based, and that's what my topics I'm going to talk about. And I know there's going to be certain venues where they don't want those topics talked about. So I'm perfectly fine not going there. It's not for me, and I have nothing against them. It's just that's just how it's gonna be.
It's gotta be that way. And like honestly, what I am most frustrated about is that I feel like if I was the venue owner, I would want the art to be happening in my place. And regardless of the name of the band or the nature of the comedy or whatever, like historically we're going to look back on this time and see like whatever came of it. And it's like, to me, I would want like the most you know, controversial thing to be happening at my place. And so for us as a band, we're not trying to be controversial. The fucking name's Sex Thief, and the name is to prod thought. So like whenever you meet us or hear us or whatever, it's like you either saw us live or you heard the songs or you just heard about our name. So like if you're just talking to me because you heard about our name, then that is just the conversational piece for me to get you to our music.
It's similar to Unloading Meat.
Exactly.
The Unloading Meat brand has just caught on through Tulsa, and like everybody knows the name now. It's like it's everywhere I go. Oh yeah, I know the Unloading Meat name. I know that name. What's that Unloading Meat thing? Like it's a name that just sticks with you and it just pops.
Well, with Sex Thief, we're trying to make it such a cult, you know, and then we've dabbled around changing the name because of that, but it's like we're not going to change the name. And the whole thing about that is like when we look back on this moment years from now, we want to know that we stood true to what we felt was like the most powerful moment in our lives. The name is just like I said, a trigger into conversation to get you to know us. So if you don't want to know us and the name is like what's keeping you away from us, then we don't want to know you, and it's okay. And life will go on and the world will go on by, and we'll still keep playing shows and you'll still keep going to other people's shows.
Can I give you a word? And I think it comes to mind. If you can disagree if you want to. It's similar to how I feel about my name. Taboo. The word and that's in the traditional sense of like it's the word sex, the word thief, the words Unloading Meat. It's not. It's an unspoken like lizard brain thing of that taboo mind of like that sticks out in people's minds,
Right.
and that's what response. That's the response.
We're trying to get you to think past that response.
Exactly. So it's a conversation starter.
It is,
and let's see.
Let's have a thought exercise on why you feel this way.
Yes.
And then if you want to continue to feel this way after we've talked about it, then that's in your own mind.
Yeah, let's have a discussion at least. And if you don't want to have the discussion, then we're cool. Let's part ways.
So look, let me talk to you about a serious note real quick.
Okay.
I'm not going to get super detailed into names or whatever. So
sure, please don't.
Recently we had a show at the Mercury Lounge.
Okay.
That was it was a showcase.
I'll light another joint if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead. It was a showcase of artists that precipitate around the art house, to which our friend JB, aka Solar Star, hosts this art house community. It's the most beautiful thing happening in Tulsa. Every Monday, people get together at this art house and they make music, they make art, drawing, painting. Comedians go there and write their jokes. It's an inspirational muse type of space, but a safe space at that.
I got another one here too.
So we were offered the privilege of playing our quick show at this Mercury Lounge art house, to which we were in the midst of finding a new guitar player.
That's a relight. Sorry, I was gonna finish that off.
And you know, no qualms against the guitar player that left. We had a guitar player that left the band. Nicola is one of the greatest writers and musically inclined people that I know, and he wrote with our drummer most of the songs of the original parts. So it's easy for him to go back to guitar, but he's really trying to take on the lead singer role and have a guitar player or even two guitar players. So anyways, long story short, we took this person to this show, to which we were negatively received. The show went well. We played great. I felt great about it. None of this stuff came out until after the show, but there was a lot of interactions that had happened during the show that made more sense afterwards. But essentially, this person had been accused of some sexual misconduct in previous history and had yet to unvilify themselves of this situation. And so we brought this person into the band unaware of the situation.
Okay.
As soon as we were aware of the situation, we were like, all right, well, honestly, there was another situation that was going on parallel to this whole thing where the person was on drugs, to which we advocate everybody in the world to have a great time and do whatever you want to do. And I'm not trying to judge anybody for their vices or whatever, but there's a certain amount of drug use that we cannot work with professionally. And that was going on. And I'm like, bro, if I'm telling you you're too fucked up, that's like pretty fucking bad. And it was that before it was anything else. So then this person was already out of the band by the time we've been hearing about all this other shit. So we had to make a public statement.
Yeah.
And it's funny and sad because I'm like,
aren't public statements great?
Well, I want at the end of the day the victims of this person's perpetration to know that our hearts are with you and we want this thing. This person tried to use us as a platform to justify their
fuck that.
return, you
fuck
know?
That.
And we immediately put a stop to that. So this person commented on our post and said, hey, if they don't delete their comment, blah, blah, blah. So where I did not delete this person's comment because I wanted them to have that on there in public record showing what a piece of shit they were personally, because they kept trying to say that they were never accused officially. And so to that, I say, we're not going to let you use our band and our existence as a platform for you to unvilify yourself to these victims.
Sure.
If you wanted to do that, you would have done it this whole time before.
Hey, respect, man. Respect.
We were...
Honestly, hey. Thank that speaks volumes for your character. I just want to say that.
We had to get ahead of this because of the name of our band and the nature of what people think that is going on there. And so we need to
just put 2 and 2 together, the nature of your...
More of the public did not know about this situation than the people that did know. But...
So wait, they joined gender...
Okay, so let me rewind. We played shows with this person as their band, and there was a moment in which we played a show at this venue to where this person was acting all weird and fucking crazy. And we were like, yo, what the fuck's going on? And they were like, somebody in my band's been accused of sexual misconduct, and I'm just trying to make sure that it's not like...
They were trying to say someone in the band?
The drummer is who they really spaced it on. So to the drummer of that band, just know your boy threw your ass under the bus. Okay?
Oh my God, this is a good story.
So...
Can I just say this is a story for Mike sometime?
Yes. Yes, it is a story that needs to be told.
This will be a great story on a mic.
So essentially, he, at that moment, honestly, because I didn't know this motherfucker, I don't know this motherfucker at all, anyways, to this day.
Sure.
I trusted that was the situation, and in that moment, we were in the middle of a show. It was going to be they were opening for us. We were doing something, and we had some out of towners that were doing something, and we were... like, okay, if this becomes an issue, we'll deal with it when it comes. And it never became an issue.
Sure.
But we knew going forward that we weren't going to work with that band because of the nature of that situation. And so it was always the drummer. So now fast forward to this situation when we hired this guy, it's over a year later.
Okay.
And so when asked about this, the guy said that it was this drummer guy.
Sure.
And so like, fuck, man, I'm doing my due diligence. What else more can I fucking do than break the guy's fucking arm over about it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so essentially, I knew the fucking guy was on drugs. This was where the first problem persisted.
Okay.
And I don't care about drug use, and I want everybody to have a good time. But when we perform as a band, we fucking on our shit. We're fucking about it, and we're putting on the fucking show for our crowd to have the best time of their fucking lives, and we're the soundtrack for your fucking party, and I'll party when I'm done, and that's the vibe. Like, I might drink a pre-workout or something and, like, get fucking hype for this shit. We might smoke a joint. We might take a shot,
Sure.
But we know our limits, and, like, there's been times where we've been our shitty versions of ourselves to which we've had to overcome, and we're not doing that anymore. So anyways... with this dude being as fucked up as he was, I was this close to telling him he could not perform the show with us, and we're about to have dude fucking step in and play guitar. But it's a dude forgot the whole solo to the song in the rehearsal. And I knew he was fucked up from getting him out of the car to the fucking rehearsal, but I was trying to, like, not lay on any extra stress.
Yeah.
I will fucking tell you if this dude's too fucked up to do the thing. And he was like acting all right. Open the door, man. Open the fucking door. One of these situations, you know? And so the second rehearsal, he did the solo. And I was like, okay, we're going to bring him. We brought him. And this motherfucker is like having these interactions with people. And it was just like we're observing it. None of it clicked until a week later. Literally, we're on the tip a week later. The show went well to us.
Yeah.
We had a great time. I knew the dude was fucked up and I was upset about it the whole time.
Sure.
But I was like, let's let the fucking dude do the thing. If he does the thing, it's fine. He thought he's the real fucking Gigi Allen. I don't fucking respect that. I think that's fucking trash bullshit.
Yeah.
But he did the show went well. And then so after the fact, we're hearing about this situation from these other people and everything's validated. And we're like, well, fuck, we didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, immediately deal with the guy. Into which he tried to briefly use our platform as a way to do his, you know, verification, whatever you call it, guilt-free assessment. And I mean, I don't condone violence or whatever, but I was so mad at this individual because of the nature of what they put our band through that I told him I will fucking beat your fucking ass and I will make sure somebody's there to videotape it so that they know that we're literally not fucking with you because you're such a fucking piece of shit for even putting us through the fact that now we have to deal with it to where there's like 2 or 3 venues that will not work with us now.
Oh man, that sucks.
Because
that just sucks.
Right. Because of this person and their interactions with this person. And like fully, dude played one show with us and has nothing to do with us. But now we'll have to deal with the repercussions of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'll beat your ass on that note just in and of itself. Also, furthermore, I should beat your ass for being a junkie in our presence and not making that known to where if you blue-lipped and fucking died on us, like that's some shit I don't want to fucking deal with.
Oh, of course.
You know, if I would known you're a fucking junkie and been approval of the situation, I would have some fucking Narcan on deck or something. But nobody wants to fucking deal with that.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, bro? So anyways, I feel like I've spoken too much on the subject, but I wanted to make it very clear to our fans.
Oh no, I lost a wired headphone. If only I had a company like Raycon sponsoring today's episode. Raycon, I need headphones. All right, guys, we are back with Dillon. And guys, I think it's time that we go for the preheat. The preheat.
Oh shit, warming up.
Warming up. Dillon, are you familiar with the preheat?
A little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For our viewers, if you are not familiar with preheat, I want everybody that's going to potentially throw out their racist, homophobic, sexist, fat jokes, I want to get all those comments on YouTube. If you want me to broadcast them on here and read them online, I will. I'll read them on air. However, you have to include a photo of yourself so I can retort. I think that's fair. Do you think that's fair, Dillon?
I think that's fair.
Okay. And by the way, if you want to be included on the preheat, go ahead and read that, Dillon, if you want to.
Want to be on the preheat? UnloadingMeat@gmail.com. Put preheat in the subject line.
Thank you so much, sir, for doing that. Do you got an example of a preheat roast joke you could do for me?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say, Jared, you look like the one remaining member of the Skankfest crew that just didn't make the audition on time.
I like that. I feel like that could apply to you too.
For sure. We'll get there one day.
Bravo, sir. Bravo. Thank you for that example of a preheat roast joke, man. And a retort. How about that? I think that went well. How about you?
For sure. Yeah. I love the preheat. I really can roast a motherfucker, honestly, but I got to be in that headspace.
Oh, I understand, man. That's why I just wanted an example of it. Guys, please send your submissions to unloadingmeat@gmail.com, subject preheat. Dillon, what do you got coming up, man? This will be coming up in April. You got any gigs coming
For
up
the
soon?
April show, we'll talk about Hash on the Mic at the Sesh Lounge on 4/20. Okay, so date's not confirmed as of right now, but I'm like 99.9% sure that we're gonna do Hash on the Mic at the Sesh Lounge on 4/20. This show will be full of sponsors that have booths out front. We'll have clothing sales. We'll have different accessory sales, different people out there sharing their cannabis products.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Would you mind if I had some on the ground unloading meat?
Absolutely. We could have a live unloading meat segment at the Sesh Lounge
You heard
on
it here.
4/20.
We are announcing it here. I will do a live unloading meat podcast session at the Sesh Lounge.
We
on
could
4/20.
literally have all of the comedians that are on Hash on the Mic on 4/20 come and do a little talk with Jared here, and then we could even have some people that are from the industry just want to talk about their wares. But I know Jared, I know he's gonna press them to talk about more shit than just their wares. So tune in for that for
then
sure.
Again, if they have wares and they're giving out free samples, I will be more inclined to talk to them about their wares.
Right? Yeah, we might be on that free sample trip where we're just like.
Can I tell you what I want? And okay, this will probably never get made for somebody like get sued. But okay, here's my dream. I want a new bong, new glassware. My favorite X-Men is Nightcrawler.
Ooh, yes, I love Nightcrawler.
So as you see,
I'm a super fan as well. Ooh, nice.
So I've never seen it, but I always thought his purple smoke would do well for a bong.
Okay.
So have like the smoke wrapping around and him coming out and his devil tail wrapping around like a dragon tail.
I like it.
Make that into like a glass piece or a pipe.
Like it.
I want somebody to make that.
There's glass pieces that change color.
Yeah.
So you could have like the inside of the piece with like little shards of the blue that turn into the red and shit as it's heated. Something like that, you know? Right?
See how he has that poof up there, that pink and purple? It's all pink purple smoke whenever he bamps out.
Got it.
And I'm like, that would do awesome in glass.
It would be sick.
And I'm just like, man, I would love somebody to make that.
I got some glass blowers. I'm not going to shout their names out yet, but there's two people I have in mind that I think we could turn you on to make a signature.
With licensing and stuff like that, I don't want to do anything like that.
But there's two people I have in mind that are Tulsa local glass blowers, really fucking pumping shit out for the solventless dab community.
Yeah.
That we could get an unloading meat signature piece made.
Dude, I would love that because I'll be all behind that. I would even love like an unloading meat one, like that, like the Deadpool.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit. Yeah.
You could easily get these guys to do one for the cast. It sits on the desk as a piece.
Because also, like, cannabis also helped me and honestly saved my life. It helps with my anxiety. It helps me get through function, even get on stage.
I literally turned my whole entire life over to cannabis, like Christians do to God.
Same.
Essentially, used to be an airplane mechanic. I used to build airplanes. I used to work on helicopters. Used to build airplanes. And when I was here, the weed legalization came. And I was like still making so much money with the airplane shit that there was no way I was going to switch gears.
Sure.
But my girlfriend at the time had a weed card and we were going to the store getting all the weed. I was doing all the weeds. And then we got asked to go do a drug test to where my bosses literally sent me because they thought I was one of the most square people. I was putting on the facade so well that they literally had me go as part of the 10% because there was like, no way he's going to fail.
Sure.
And so certainly went in there knowing I was failing and came back, packed up my toolbox, told the boss. And so they wanted to let me stay, but they wanted me to do literally like it's 30 AA type classes.
Like a rehab kind of thing.
Right. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to rehab for weed.
Yeah.
And I've been to rehab before and I've been to AA before and I get what the fuck it is, but I was like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then I was like, also, furthermore, even if I did all this shit, when I go back to work, y'all are all still going to whisper about me behind my back. You're still going to make jokes about, oh, he's a stoner, whatever. Yeah. And it's working on airplanes. You got to have the full faith of your compadres, you know? And
well, it's like rehab can be for different things. Like one of my biggest influences is Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee recently admitted that he went to rehab and he got clean of everything, even marijuana, because
for him personally, weed led to other things.
Yeah, it does. It's like alcohol. Alcohol leads to other things.
So he had to cut everything out, and so for him personally, he doesn't smoke, but he's not condoning it against everybody else, or like not like disown, or what do you call it, like disapproving it when everybody else does it. It was just like his personal story, and I honestly relate to that and respect that.
For me, it's like if you have a vice that is literally getting you to the point to where you have no control over the other things in your life, then that's the problem.
Yes.
I'm like a Hunter S. Thompson type where I really like everybody trying everything all the time, get more fucked up, do more crazy shit. Like psychedelics for sure could change your life. Psychedelics, MDMA could really change your life from depression and
I actually want
other
to get into that
sorts of like, I don't think that people should be recklessly going into it like we did when we were 19 and 20 and shit. But you should know that there is cognitive, behavioral fucking improvement to be had in psychedelic things.
Do you watch Last Week Tonight?
A little bit, yeah.
He had an episode exactly about that, like 2 episodes ago, and it's very informative, and it's really good about how that can help with depression, anxiety.
It really can. It's so funny because people joke about microdosing, and there's been no formal literature that shows that microdosing does anything better to improve your cognitive ability. But there has been tons of literature that shows that macrodosing in large amounts, I would say like there's a certain amount to where you can start at with psychedelics that would improve your overall existence. There's a certain amount to where you would be feeling like overwhelmed.
Sure.
And that nobody can suggest. That's just going to be something that people have to figure out on their own. But, you know, it's a fucking Wild West. It's the new green rush. I'm well versed in the cannabis industry. And when we're talking about business macros, that is the new green rush. And it is certainly going to be where people are making millions of dollars. The desire is already there. The products are already there. Over on the West Coast, there's already, you could walk into a store and already buy packaged and branded mushroom products.
Oh, wow.
Packaged and branded.
Like
literally,
Portland, right? In Oregon?
Cute. Dude, Denver's there. I mean, what I'm getting at, it's when I try to tell my people that I work with, is that the facilities that I work in, where I have like a fully lab style kitchen to make edibles, you know, couple $1,000 fucking candy machine. I'm telling these people, like, there's people that are doing what we're doing right now somewhere else with mushrooms already, right now. Like, it's definitely not an imaginary, fictitious thing. It is happening. They're on the market. QR codes on the thing. It's interesting because it's like, I'm not blasting anybody out or anything. I'm not even like calling anybody out, but it's just, it's funny to me because when I was 18 years old, I looked at Colorado like, I'm going to go there one day and I'm going to grow all this weed. Never in my life did I ever think that I was going to get my weed education in Oklahoma.
Sure.
And I cut my teeth here and I grew weed here and I designed weed farms and come up as an evolution in the weed game here. I would have it no other way. But now I'm trying to tell these people like this shroom thing is like something that you don't want to be 5 years behind.
Yeah.
By the time you're getting into it, they're already putting the shit on the shelves. So also it's like a consciousness thing as well as a societal thing. And Terrence McKenna said before in, I think, the early 90s that there's going to come a point.
The ice cream truck.
He's coming. I'm like, there's going to come a time
anyway.
that things get so weird that people eventually have to talk about it, talking about consciousness and psychedelics. Like, there's going to come a point in time to where it's not just drug users that are doing this weird thing that changes your brain or makes you feel better.
It goes back to that word taboo. It's all taboo right now. We still need to have a discussion about it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Ooh, we can wrap it whenever you're ready, dog.
Okay, man. Sorry, I'm only cutting you off. We're having a great discussion.
No, it's fine. I got a potty anyways.
Man, where can everybody reach you at?
Okay, so follow me at Kurt Cobain, TURPTOBAIN on Instagram. That's where I do most of my social media work at. And then if you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm just Dillon Walters, DILLONWALTERS. And then if you get on my Instagram, you can hit my link tree and find me on Twitter and shit, but mostly on Instagram. Mostly doing shit on Instagram.
Well,
I'm going to work on bringing more videos to you guys this year.
Awesome, man. And I'd say it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. Thank you so much for coming out here, man. I know it was a trip, but dude, it's been a pleasure. And honestly, I think I made a new friend today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much,
man.
Thank
you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, guys. Take care. And thank you for watching Unloading Meat.
Bye. Have a great time.